Oh, Zero Suit Sam, she has a speed advantage, and then you
True.
also obviously got that taser to help with the range. But other than that, she's definitely always really up into your face, and that's going to play in favor for Link, except for right now, because right now 101 for Link and a
Oh,
stock.
wow. And the
So Zero
up.
Suit Samus may be taking away your pick. There's up to.
Yeah, the up special there coming out from ZSS, able to find that elimination. And MisterMan currently not really. Excuse me, there it is. Definitely not giving that aggression that we need to see from a Link player. They're getting in super close, but then they're just using the same moveset over and over. That really is costing them quite a few times so far. Already up to 40% on that second stock. And I mean, if There It Is can keep up this momentum, or if MisterMan can keep up this momentum, this is going to be a close one.
Exactly.
Or isn't going to be, excuse me.
Yeah, and just for our viewers, Mr. Man is the Zero Suit Samus for Mississippi, and then Link
Correct.
is There It Is for Wichita State.
Wow! The
That
spike
was
off the side
incredible.
of the map. As I say it, I really thought that was going to be a 3-stock, but we see the Link player coming back. Blink and you miss it. The bomb into the side of the stage, able to send them down the drain there. 2-2, we see right now. There it is, down 90%, just going to climb here. As Mr. Man is able to secure some serious damage, and another up special off the back of it. But there it is, lives for another day, just for a moment there. Mr. Man trying to find the damage as quickly as possible, but right now, I mean, they are... There it is, they are in deep.
I was surprised that There It Is did not break her shield, and then when Mr. Man got out of the shield, it didn't really hit him with that up special. And then Mr. Man was able to capitalize it, taking him up to the air.
Yeah, definitely a weird look coming through here so far. There it is, 150%, but Link, a little bit heavier than you may suspect. The elimination finally coming through that forward air, all that takes. And Mr. Man now, 2 stocks, 40%. There it is, already down to their third and final stock. This is really shaping up to be a pretty quick match.
Exactly. One thing you got to be watching out for Mr. Man, those spikes, they don't just go straight down. They go a little bit to the side to wherever Mr. Man is facing. So you better watch out. You better be in the right direction and make the right reads, which is very hard in these types of games to make the right reads.
Absolutely. And the read was absolutely there with There It Is, having the bomb up into the air, but Mr. Man able to air dodge out of it. A great job, just great reaction time as well. 79 to 85, There It Is desperately trying to clean things up, but now up to 101%, and there it is indeed. No, as I say it, just barely able to survive for that single knock off the side of the map. Sends There It Is down the drain. An unfortunate look for sure.
He didn't even try to recover, which, I mean, you kind of know he's that far down off the stage, but obviously this was definitely a a little bit of an upset in terms of characters, but Mr. Man had the right type of attacks to use, and we didn't really see too much of There It Is using the range attacks that Link is really good with, except obviously the bomb he used to spike Mr. Man.
Yeah, we saw the bomb quite a few times in the boomerang, maybe once or twice, but overall, we saw a lot of aggression from There It Is, just close to close, and Zero Suit Samus, in my opinion, one of the strongest characters in the game. Something you see very often in competitive is these players, they know how to play her, and she is a force to be reckoned with, to say the very least. We saw There It Is with quite a few times able to find some value out of the bombs and using the boomerang to cover some options to get up back onto the ledge, but in mid stage, they really did not utilize the projectiles nearly as much as I think a Link player should be. And I really do think that's what cost them the series there.
Exactly, and one of Zero Suit Samus's specialties is that whip. That whip that you can use to grab, but if you don't grab it, just does some damage. Obviously, we saw that in the final stock, keeping him a little bit off the edge so he didn't get a good chance to recover.
Yeah, the recovery is definitely not coming through as they wanted. Definitely an unfortunate look as well. Wichita State, however, things are relatively close in terms of score. Are they going to be able to keep that score close, or are they going to start to lose it? As Mississippi, Mr. Man already making a serious name for themselves here, and every win just separates those numbers even further.
Exactly. Wichita State, they really need to just analyze the match and think, what do I need to do? Do I need to control the ledge more, or do I need to ground? If this attack doesn't work, what attack will? They just need to get into that mindset to counteract me.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the character selects coming through now. Mr. Man, it looks like they're going to be sticking to that Zero Suit Samus. And, I think I would suspect to see something else coming from There It Is. The Link, maybe isn't their usual pick. I don't really recall, to be honest, but I don't think the Link really worked out like they wanted it to there, of course. The aggression coming through very, very quickly. We're going to have to see what they can bring out other than a Link, and hopefully it's maybe a sword fighter that's a little more close quarters, as the projectiles is definitely not the way they clearly wanted to be playing.
Exactly, and maybe they go speedy too. He might downgrade Link to Toon Link. Toon Link is definitely one of the faster swordsman, even though he's not totally close quarters, he's still with the long range. But if you rival Zero Suit Samus speed, that you would still get a good chance to stay in the game with.
For sure. Young Link as well, a heavy hitter to say the very least. The projectiles all a little bit faster, do a little bit more damage depending on which ones. And I mean, Young Link usually picked a lot more than Link himself, so something that I wouldn't be surprised to see. The bombs, of course, work a little differently, similar to how Link's worked in Smash 4. Smash Ultimate, they're based a little bit more off that Breath of the Wild Link, and that's something that I think makes a huge difference in the character himself, especially because that double bomb recovery that you saw so often in Smash 4 is no longer possible in Smash Ultimate.
I think MisterMan heard me break down how to beat Zero Samus. No, they just totally decided to stick with the same characters.
Hey, MisterMan gonna be sticking to that Zero Suit Samus, and we're gonna see there it is back on the Link. Something that it's just high risk, high reward doesn't even feel like the word. You're just playing high risk after getting essentially 3-0. And I mean, you really don't want to be coming back with the same play style. You need to have a completely new mindset and a completely new way to approach this matchup.
I wonder if they just gamble to see, okay, I'm gonna go to the character select menu, see if they think I'm gonna stick with the character, but I'm actually gonna stick with. I wonder if that's actually a method. I don't know.
Just the mental game. But now we see MisterMan definitely taking some serious punishment here onto There It Is, who chose to do the recovery up into the air and left themselves completely open from underneath, which is exactly where MisterMan was standing. 46.4 to 46 point, or 44.6 to 44.4, literally 2%, 0.2% difference in these characters here. And we see a huge playstyle difference coming out from There It Is. The sword coming out a lot more, but they are relying a lot on that up special, and that is really not the engager they should be using for these matchups.
Another thing we've been seeing from There It Is that spike, and we saw it twice. The first one hit a little bit, didn't do too much damage. The second one tried to get above MisterMan, and then tried to take him down to the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. There it is now, 40% in the lead, but like I said earlier, Link can take a lot more damage than you may suspect. Now, however, that does not mean Zero Suit Samus cannot deal that damage, as we saw right here. She can deal an insane amount of damage very quickly, and her up special is absolutely terrifying, to say the very least. Right now, it's going to be 2 stocks to 3 stocks. Once again, MisterMan putting on the pressure, already forcing There It Is to lap them in percent. Only 7% difference coming out. The boomerang finally showing its face once again for this Link player. The bomb coming through, going to go right over the top of MisterMan. We're going to see the fast fall coming out from There It Is. The laser up, and oh,
there's that spike.
Down special. A phenomenal spike coming through, the damage being dealt, and There It Is really going to have to start putting in the damage if they want to turn this matchup around.
Exactly, and you know, we've seen MisterMan take him to the air, so if I'm There It Is, control the ground game. Don't let MisterMan get you into the air, because most of his stocks, as we've seen in the last match as well, was going not like out of the stage, but just up in the air.
Yep,
that's where
absolutely.
He's been mainly controlling.
Yeah, I think that's a phenomenal observation as well, because the Zero Suit Samus really has been playing an aerial game, but time and time again we're seeing There It Is play on the platforms above them, which is the most dangerous place to be against a Zero Suit Samus, if you know, in my opinion personally. And I think right now we need to see There It Is playing a lot more long distance and stop engaging close up. MisterMan has made quite a few mistakes that have been punishable, but There It Is just not reacting fast enough to punish them off the back of it.
Exactly.
Oh,
and another stock. Man, There It Is just needs to figure out the ground game more instead of just getting out in the air and trying to get him there.
Yeah, absolutely. The ground game needs to be played a lot more. And I think MisterMan, time and time again, has been baiting There It Is into the aerial positions, and they've been falling for it every single time. And I think that's what's cost them these stocks. We're going to see a stock finally come through for There It Is. They've relied on that up special time and time again. Then finally going to work out for them. 10% now with the bomb. They've got quite the mountain to climb. If they're able to eliminate this next stock without taking a lot of damage, this is absolutely still winnable. They'll be 60% already, and they've still got 2 stocks to go. Things are looking bleak here, not only for There It Is, but for Wichita State as a whole.
Exactly. Yeah, Wichita State, they just need to play aggressive. Where is it for There It Is? He's got to be aggressive. On the ground, as I said, probably for the 1000th time, and obviously, you know, they probably can't hear us, but...
Yeah, hopefully they can't hear us. That would be a bit of an unfair advantage for these players. But right now, There It Is, 120% on that final stock. And I mean, that final stock I feel will be coming to an end very soon. MisterMan not only has that extra stock, but only 82%, so they've got some room to get hyper aggressive once again against ThereItIs, and that's exactly what's going to be able to happen. 130% now coming out very quickly. And like I said, Wichita State, things are looking bleaker by the second. 123%. MisterMan, they're just waiting for the kill opportunity here. They're just waiting for the moment they know they can find that kill confirm.
And you see ThereItIs trying to maintain his distance a little bit, trying to stick, waiting for MisterMan to use the special attack with the taser and then also the whip. But ThereItIs needs to use more projectiles to counteract him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're seeing something that I hadn't really noticed before until this moment, but every time ThereItIs goes to use a projectile, MisterMan puts the pressure down infinitely. And I think that's a huge difference on maybe why we're seeing this playstyle change. The no projectiles coming out may have been a tactical strategy from the very start, because they knew MisterMan would follow up off the back of it every single time, and that's exactly what we've seen time and time again. The whip coming out once again, but a great shield from ThereItIs, just holding on, dearly trying to survive. But yeah, as you said, ThereItIs, the whip into the up special once again, able to take ThereItIs off the map. It's going to be a 2-stock victory, but an overall victory for our Zero Suit Samus player, MisterMan, able to put that one away. We are just seeing 2-0s every single matchup here today.
Exactly. Can't wait to see the 3-round game, but obviously, you know, this has kind of been mismatched in each match, I feel like. You know, we have Hero with the overall different move sets, and now we see Zero Suit Samus, which we originally thought Link would probably have the advantage with the projectiles, but obviously Zero Suit Samus stayed close, and her speed was very, very useful in this matchup, and then obviously the aerial. That's where it mainly got him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's hilarious that almost every time, if anybody has watched me cast Smash consistently, almost every time I give my opinion on who I think is going to win, they make me eat my words minutes later. And I like to think I have a pretty good understanding of the game, but these players absolutely love to make sure that I'm wrong when I give my predictions early on. Coming up next, we're going to have Linny representing Wichita State versus Yosefu is how I'm going to choose to say that. I apologize, I'm slaughtering that name. There is no pronunciation on the document that we have with you guys listed. But coming up, these players going to go toe-to-toe, and they're going to bring us 2 brand new characters to go up against. Don't go too far. We're going to throw it to another quick break, get them in here, and one of them is already there. So we'll be back in just a minute. Don't go far.